Hello, and welcome to Morning with a Mentor. My name is Diller Schwartz, and I am your host. Please join me on Wednesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. while I interview top talent in our KW Austin family.
Most families have like a family doctor or a family financial planner or a family CPA. Why don't they have the family realtor? My name is Andy Fisher. My wife, Jody Fisher, and I are your real estate planners. So we got involved with the real estate planning community about 2 years ago, Mega Camp. So Danny Yara came and basically shared kind of a new community within the KW world, about kind of focusing our businesses around shift-proof models, which are, like senior relocation, investors that to help them that maybe don't want to be a landlord anymore. So helping them with doing 1031 exchanges, Delaware Statutory Trust or DSTs, helping people go through and setting up a plan so they're leaving their wealth legacy to their heirs. So we call ourselves real estate planners instead of realtors because we help people build, protect, and transfer wealth through real estate. And so we've been growing our business around this model for about, just around a year now. We refocused our name. We rebranded ourselves. I've been in the business for just over 17 years. Jody joined me about 5 years ago. I was the AF Austin team, which I make a joke, I was AF before AF was a thing. And it just stood for Andy Fisher Austin. And
So,
we realized, yeah.
just for oh, what is that? Y'all hear that? Let's see. I'm gonna mute everyone. Okay, muted people. Okay, so there are communities within Keller Williams, for those of you who are like, what are all of these things we're talking about? So there are communities within Keller Williams, and Andy helped me break this down. Andy is in what is the actual name of your community?
The KW Real Estate Planners Community.
So it is when he's saying he's your real estate planner, that's the name of his real estate team here in Austin. However, he is a part of a community within Keller Williams that they offer very high level training, and they break all of these things down that he's discussing. And then I'm going to screw the guy's name up, so you say it. Dan.
Ihara. He
So
is
Dan.
Hawaiian. So he's out in Hawaii. He's been doing this for about 20 years and realized, hey, nobody's doing this. So that's when Gary went to him and said, man, you got to start teaching this. So excellent mentor, teacher. I mean, I've learned more in the last 2 years than I've ever learned so far being a realtor. So
Perfect. Who would this community be good for?
I mean, it's really anybody that's really kind of focused on the baby boomer plus generation. So it's really meant to help anybody and everybody. It's about creating a real estate plan. So like our goal is, most families have like a family doctor or a family financial planner or a family CPA. Why don't they have the family realtor? So like we learn a lot about running um, asset performance test on investment properties. We learn about capital gains analysis, and figuring out strategies on how do we eliminate those things from your life so that way we can defer the capital gains taxes, either kicking the can down the road is one term that we talk a lot about, or swap until you drop. And then basically that wealth that you've built over the decades or however long you've been doing the real estate investing, how do you transfer that wealth to your kids without paying a bunch of taxes or families fighting over what mom and dad left? So the great thing about what Dan's teaching us is this is a completely shift-proof model. So all of the people that we're working with, and I didn't finish the pillars. So we talk about trust versus wills. in our community. We also help people that are going through the probate process. And also, we just recently added divorce in there too. So if you really think about it, all of these pillars that we have in our community are all completely shift proof. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. These are all people that need, want, and are asking for help. And we're just filling that void because nobody's doing what we're doing. So, or at least they're not doing it on a high level like we are. So that's where Dan's come in and is teaching us, like, how do we have the conversations? How do we ask the questions to help people self-discover what their challenges are, and then being able to be the solution to those problems that they're having. So
Perfect. All right. So let's go with our first question.
okay.
What are Andy Fisher's priorities today?
Today, it is growing our business. So we are, and Jody and I have been sitting down since October, and planning out 2025. So we want to grow. We have big lofty goals of trying to take this brand, not just here in Austin, but, to multiple cities here in Texas. And then eventually, try and make it something that is, a household name. So
Um, if you're hiring, or when you do start hiring, what are the top 3 qualities of the person that you're looking for?
it's gotta, I think the number one quality that we're looking for when we're adding on to our team is a servant's heart. Like, we want somebody that actually has compassion towards the baby boomer plus, like a senior, that is not somebody that's just money focused, that really wants to be a true fiduciary to their clients and helping those that, need our help. So, and patience, I think, is a big thing too, because that's the thing. It's not something that is immediate. It's something that takes time to grow and have trust with somebody that's literally, they probably have owned this house for the last 50 years. They brought their kids home when they were babies, and now they're at a point in their life where they can't be at home alone because they might have dementia, or that they've fallen and their hips are broken and they have to have care. So the stories that you hear within this community, it changes the way that you do business. And that's why we really want to make sure that mom and dad isn't taken advantage of, either by the family or by, somebody that they know or don't know, or, whatever. So making sure that people aren't taken advantage of. Two, that families don't fight. That's one of the major things, is like, we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page of what mom and dad's wishes are. And, let's make sure that there's a plan in place. So those are a few of the things that we're striving to find to join our team and to grow. So.
Got it. So you guys know, if you're listening to these, you can always reach out to our agents who maybe you're not hiring at the time. It's all up to them, but you are more than welcome to send them a letter, or I'm sorry, a letter. You could fax them. But if you like what Andy's talking about and the sauce he's cooking up in this show, like, just make sure you shoot them an email, and schedule a coffee or something, and see if you're a good fit. So, okay, so we know your priorities today. Let's talk about, what are your lead gen goals today?
Yeah, so we're kind of doing it a little old school. Right now we're sending out a lot of letters to our, so we go fishing. Dan teaches us a couple of different platforms that we can pull information about who our avatar is. So we create an avatar, and then we say, okay, this is who we want to market to, and then we send letters. Like, we have several different letters that, believe it or not, we love ChatGPT. So we put those letters into ChatGPT and say, hey, take this letter and make it the same letter but worded differently, and make it a 10 for our audience who is, you know, this person, this
So
demographic.
when you're looking for these avatars or you're creating these avatars, how many layers deep are you guys going? Are you just saying, I don't know, I'm gonna make this up, right? Someone in
Yeah.
their 50s who own their home for 5 years. Or are you like going like layers deep?
So we're going layers deep. Like we use a platform called oh my God, I just drew a blank. Jody, can you help me? Sorry, my wife's on here too.
She's
She's
driving.
yeah,
PropStream.
PropStream. That's right. Thank you. So
Did
we
you
use
say prop stream?
PropStream.
PropStream.
Yeah,
Okay.
PropStream. And so what we do is we put in, and PropStream is based off of title company information. So they built their company around, you know, closings, and they know a lot about what the different like they can find out exactly who lives in a house, how long they've lived in the house, about how much equity they have in the house, how many other properties that they own, what is their approximate net worth. All of these things are things that we put into PropStream, and then we say, please spit out a list of all of these people.
And then you go fish to them.
And then we go fishing to them. So it's not something that's immediate, but Jody and I started this in January of last year, doing just this. And we were not seeing any results in June. So we thought that we were spreading ourselves too thin and we were kind of all over the place. But believe it or not, shortly after we started pulling back the reins, we started getting a bunch of business. And so like right now, we're closing deals from all of these people that we were fishing back in January of last year. So we're getting business. Jody and I were able to, we have under contract right now our future Forever Home. And this was from a probate letter that we sent out back in January.
So it works. You just got to stick to it.
You just got to stick to it. That's the thing. And so we were playing red light, green light, and we're like, oh, it's you know, June, we haven't gotten any business. And then all of a sudden in August, you know, all of these people started calling us and being like, we need your help. We got your letter. We have been holding on to this. Like, and so it works. Like the things that Dan teaches us and is what he's using in his business, all we're doing is, you know, taking what he's taught us and what he's doing and bringing it here to Austin, Texas, and doing it here. So
would you say your goal is more just to make sure you're getting the activity, like the letters out daily or weekly, or is your goal, I think a lot of people come on and say, hey, I need to have 5 conversations a day. And this is what I love about these interviews in the morning is people do it differently and it works. I think the number one thing is that everyone's sticking to it.
yeah, and that's
so what's break that down. What's your goal with it?
I mean, so that's the thing. We're going back to consistency. For us, it's a cadence, you know, so we've worked up a basically like it's like every 2 weeks we're sending out a letter to somebody that has a meaningful message and just saying, hey, are you facing these challenges? If so, you know, we're here to help you. We've got solutions, and we're offering some kind of item of value every time that we send something out. So like with the probate letters, we have different things, like, you know, like the 21 things that you need to do as a executor of an estate, you know, things like that. And so these are all tools that we have learned, and it's just, you know, people find value. And that's the thing. It's when you least expect it that all of a sudden the diamonds start showing up. So yeah.
Perfect.
Consistency. So like we have it, and it's not like we are sending letters out every single week. So it's just, you've got to stay consistent, and we're taking and shifting like the groups into the like the next week or every other week.
So you're actually organizing your database?
Yes, so we got 30,000 names like from PropStream, and then we went in and we scrubbed all that information. And there's companies out there that scrub, you know, data for you to make sure like is this still accurate? Are these emails still functioning? All of that stuff. So from that, I think
And
Jody
then if
wants.
you're gonna call, you use a TCPA friendly, and you don't market to anyone that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, don't send to the do not call list. Also make sure that they're on the do not mail list. You know, there is a do not mail list as well, guys, and it will get you in trouble. Like we have received a letter from somebody that said, you know, don't send this to me ever again. So, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Won't do that.
And there's 30,000, right? I mean, who's
Yeah.
one? I think sometimes we get stuck with like this one person hung up on me or this one person did this. And it's like, can we actually change the way that we look at that? And if you've got 30,000, who's one?
Right.
Like,
And that's the thing, we're doing seminars. So we're inviting people to come to a seminar. We will sit down. We typically, it's like an hour, hour and a half long. All we're doing is we're taking Dan's, you know, we're R&Ding Dan's presentation. And then, you know, he's all about breaking bread with people. So we have them come have a meal. And I mean, we had Dan here in August where we had 75 people in the CDC upstairs. And from that, we got a lady that has 3 properties worth about $3 million in total, and that we've listed 2 right now. And we just went under contract on one of them. So like the proof is in the pudding, and it's just, you know, do it and do it consistently.
great job. Okay, so how do you know that you won the day? Because you've got 2 kids, you've got Jody over here, you go home, and how do you know you've won the day and you turn real estate off?
Real estate is really hard for us to turn off. But we do set boundaries. So like, you know, we have dinner time, we have getting the kids ready for bedtime. Sometimes we're doing, you know, getting offers executed and sending off emails. And then, you know, we're sometimes doing stuff after they go to bed. But I mean, winning the day is like how are we able to leave a legacy for our kids? And that's the biggest thing. Like we're not trying to own the biggest house in Austin. We are, you know, like how can we get rich slow? I think Mark King really said it well, is like it's not about getting rich overnight. It's about, you know, building a legacy over a matter of time. And so that's what we're doing. We're buying, you know, like we're buying houses when we are able to. So like we've got 3 houses right now. We would love to own more. Our goal is, you know, like how can we build wealth using real estate as the leverage and do it smartly? That's the biggest thing, is you have to do it smartly. And there's a lot of really smart people that are surrounding us here in the CDC, and I'm sorry, in the market center. And, you know, coming and picking people's brains and being part of the wealth club and then just having conversations is, I think that's how you win the day. Is like, it's not about how big you are. It's about like, are you living the best life you can and doing it strategically smart?
Perfect. All right. Next question. So you guys clearly have a fairly large database. You've been doing this for 17 years. So, as realtors, we typically say, oh, I have, 5,000 contacts, clients in my database. If we were to really go and call all of the contacts in your database, how many people would actually say, Andy Fisher is my realtor and Jody? And what do you think you did to solidify that relationship with the amount of people that you're about to tell us?
So we have I mean, we've broken it down into systems and models that we've learned, you know, here. So we have our VIP list, and that is, I would honestly say about 25 people that are like, they are our repeat clients. They are our biggest advocates. They are the ones that will come to our events when we invite them. You know, and then I would say our actual sphere of influence is probably around 200 people total. And then the rest of it is just database. And so it's about, you know, like how do we get the messaging to the rest of that database to want to pick up the phone and call us? And so it's putting them on smart plans. It's putting them on, some kind of system to where we're offering value to them. And then when the time comes, like, how do we make sure to convert them? And so a lot of that stuff is coming to the table and not being your traditional transactional real estate agent, but talking to them about like their legacy, how they want to leave, the world a better place for their kids or for a charity that they want to do. And then, talk to them about things that another realtor will never talk to them about capital gains, and running those analyses for them. That wins us more business, but by doing that than anything else. So, because they typically will say, no other realtor has ever done what you just talked to us about. So,
Yep. I do feel like that's something that changed when I joined the wealth community. Was I started having conversations that my wife was even, she would hear me on the phone and just like, how do you talk to people about, you're just taking this financial deep dive with them? And I'm like,
yeah.
I've got to,
Yeah. I mean, that's a fiduciary duty. Like, you have made a promise about being a realtor to help them to the fullest. And if you're not completely knowledgeable about what you're doing them a disservice. So, and that's where we really want to be different, is like, how can we strategically plan, the sale of your property? If you're owing the government, let's just say hypothetically, a guy that's, owns a piece of land down in Buda, Texas, that's worth $1.5 million, and he bought it for $100,000 like 15 years ago. He's got a huge capital gains bill. So how do we strategically plan it to where he isn't going to pay the government around $300,000, and I'm just doing the math real quick off the top of my head. When you tell him, how does it feel to pay Uncle Sam $300,000? And he says, I don't want to do that. Let's figure out a strategy for us to exit you out of that and be able to keep that $300,000 that you could possibly, give your kids whenever you pass away, and create a different pathway for it. So that's
perfect.
what sets you apart.
All right. And so we have a few minutes left. Oh wait, does anybody have any questions? I kind of forgot.
I've been seeing people talk in the chat, and I'm so sorry. I'm kind of been.
It's me. I'm just taking
Okay. Oh, okay.
notes, and then we'll
Okay.
pull them out. Yeah. And then it looks like someone's note taker is just doing some things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So my favorite question, because I've learned so much from doing these calls, from this one question, and I go and I do all, and so far it's actually resulted in business. Okay. So you have 14 days or less to get a new client under contract. You can pick buyer or seller. So tell us, are you going buyer or seller?
I would prefer buyer right now.
In the market
right now.
Okay. So remember, guys, that most of the agents you're hearing say in this market,
Yeah.
they want to go with a buyer.
In this market, I would much rather choose a buyer over a seller right now. And that's the thing. It's all about like a buyer. I could probably get them an amazing deal right now on a house that's probably been sitting on the market for 60 to 90 days. Get them, the seller to pay a bunch of money towards closing costs, and you still look like the hero. So
Okay, so it's a new client.
New client, yeah.
Where would you go? What lead gen, what activity? Would you do an open house? What would you do to get the client?
I mean, I'm doing open houses right now. I'm doing them like every weekend. And so I will say most of the people that we've had been coming through the door, they're all represented by an agent. So, but when I start showing them about like, hey, do you know about this house around the corner? They start saying no. I think I would probably do the open house route, that I could probably pick up a client within the next 14 days pretty easily. So
From an open house.
From an open house, yeah.
Okay, so Andy's going super knowledge base with the information he has, what deal he can make with a listing agent regarding closing cost, probably even a better sales price. I know that we're doing so. My team is all buyers right now. They're like, give me another buyer. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of, I think this week alone, we're like 3 of us are closing lease leads on purchases. And
Yeah.
then we just got a lease lead who was actually finding a lease to live in while they sell their home. So from the lease lead, we got a listing in Georgetown. I don't know how, it's crazy. The lease leads are crazy right now. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so he's going buyer. He's gonna make sure he lets them know about something maybe they don't know about. He's gonna strike up a conversation about the deal he's able to make. Is there anything else? 14 days or less?
No, I mean, I think that's like one of the best ways that you can probably get somebody. I mean, on listings, I mean, we went literally a week ago to our client and said, we need to get this property on the market right now. It was in Circle C. She listened to us. She said, yes, we literally got it ready and on the market by last weekend on Friday. We had multiple offers over the weekend because we priced it right. Like if you get a listing, you want to price it below what any of your competitors are, and price it well below. And that way, let them know, like, if you do it like this, you're going, we can probably get you multiple offers. I can't guarantee it because like, I don't have a crystal ball, but we can really help you get it sold quickly if we do everything the right way. So.
Perfect. Kim is gonna message you. Guys, I will make sure y'all get Andy's information, but he's in all of the Facebook groups. He's Andy Fisher. And then you can also find Jody Fisher. And so we'll make sure y'all are connected. And then as soon as it gets recorded, you can go to the subscribe to our YouTube channel and see more of Andy there. Okay, so final question that we ask all of our agents.
Yeah.
What is an action item that you would give to people within their first 3 years of real estate that you're like, just do this weekly? So here's a few examples. People have said, handwritten notes, send about 10 of them a week. Schedule your open houses by 3 p.m. on Wednesdays so that you can door knock and properly market them. Gratitude calls, morning fitness routines. What do you think? Think about it. Your first 1 to 3 years.
I already got it. I know exactly.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
Database. Like you have to have some kind of CRM system, and we use Commands. Like I think it's one of the best platforms that's out there. It was not always that way, but it is definitely a free, it's a free tool. And I mean, it's got a lot of great things that Jody and I have helped build into it from the very beginning. And I like the CRM is the number one thing, like, and make sure that you have some kind of plan to follow up with the people that are in your CRM system. I don't care what it is, even if it's a quarterly call plan or, send a letter or whatever, an email. A CRM is like, that's the one thing I wish I could go back in time and set up, 17 years ago and say, stick with this, do this one thing. Even if it was Gary in a box, like I wish I had done that from the very beginning. So.
And so a lot of these guys are in the mentorship program, and one of their requirements in their first 30 days is 201 contacts. So Jody and Andy, I'm going to go a little bit off script here. Jody and Andy actually were like market center tech trainers, like they held a position to actually help agents succeed with Command. And so how much do you guys really believe in the 201 club?
100%. Like there's no doubt in my mind. Like if you put people in the database and then you strategically figure out how to follow up with them, you are going to get business from that 100%. And I mean, you should put everybody in that into the CRM, your friends, your family, your people that you see on Facebook, everybody should go into your database 100%. And then figure out a way to follow up with them. It doesn't have to be all about real estate. It's just to let them know that, hey, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I'm here for you. If you ever need anything, I'm a resource for you. That's all you have to do. Not anything else. Don't try and sell people on real estate. You want to be the genuine person that you are, and not the, hey, I'm going to sell you some stuff. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you need to be who you are and do it strategically, and make sure that your friends and family know who you are so they can refer their people that they know, because it's all about word of mouth. So Jody, I know you want to jump in and say something here too. You picked up the phone.
Oh, because I'm somewhere now that I can be here. But no, I was gonna say, when you're tagging people and everything, tag them, with like dog or cat or favorite drink or, you know,
Mom, dad.
yeah. So that way you can easily pull people out of your database to send things to them, small categories of people that are more prevalent and more geared towards what they would like to be receiving.
Yeah, and if you want to invite them to events, tag them with events. If you're their past client, tag them with a past client. Just work your database. Like that's the thing. And it doesn't take, but like literally I can put somebody in within under a minute into Command and have everything tagged. So if you ever need a list of tags or something like that, we're happy to share. There's a list that you can use at least to get you started. But I mean, I think we have close to 1,000 tags in Command. So
Tags are good. I
Yeah.
use a ton of tags. Okay, any final questions? It's 9:01. We're gonna respect Andy's time so he can go mail out and fish. And if you you know what he's looking for, his number one thing is people who are sincere and who really want to have a servant's heart. If you're looking to join a team, you can absolutely reach out to Andy and Jody and see if they have a spot available and start the interview process. And if you know someone who maybe might be a good fit for this role, let them know. And if you have any questions about anything he said, find him and shoot him an email. And then I'll get this one edited, recorded, and put on the YouTube so that you guys can rewatch it if you missed anything.
Awesome.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you guys. Anybody have any questions? Oh, we do have a question or no?
I think we have a heart. Jana Joy, are you saying something?
I think she's waving by.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.